Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Ali's Take. We were back from that little break that we took over the holidays. We're going to just be jumping right into things, guys. This video is dedicated, and the only things that we're going to be talking about are some of the changes that Ole Gunnar has brought to this new Manchester United team. I mean, he's come in 6 games, 6 wins. I'm kind of feeling a little bit optimistic about this team. It looks like a really bright future. You know, we do have a big game coming up with this PSG in the Champions League, so the momentum that we're bringing in, it kind of slowed down over our last game over Brighton, but with what we got going on, I feel really happy about this. And Ole Gunnar has totally changed the team, a total 180, and everything's looking good. We're going to be talking about 2 things. The 2 points that we definitely have are going to be, 1 is how we're actually playing football, you know, how the team is set up now, and then 2, some of the positions that we have, some of the leadership roles that I can see in this team. So with Jose Mourinho, we kind of played this defensive style football. I mean, we played 4 at the back, 2 center defensive mids, 3 cams, and 1 striker. Usually the center defensive mids at the start of the season, or last season as well, before we started playing Fred, we had Pogba and Matic, and that's when all the the drama started happening with Pogba and Jose Mourinho, because Pogba does not want to play center defensive mid. I mean, he is a cam, he is an attacking style center mid. So having him back there, not distributing, kind of playing just like he's tied up. As a player, I kind of have this, hate-love relationship with him. Obviously, I love Jose Mourinho. I think he's an absolute genius. Did not work out with Manchester United. I don't take anything away. The way he wanted to play was his own idea, and it just didn't work. Okay, just the way Pogba and him went about it, it was kind of like 2 children. The last season that Pogba played at Juve, everybody was calling this guy, the best midfielder in the world, and I totally agreed with that. These last 6 games, you can see why people are calling him that. I mean, he has I think it's 4 assists and then 5 goals. But not even talking about Pogba alone, the team itself is playing absolutely amazing. Instead of playing this defensive-minded game, we're playing, counter-attacking, high pressing. We're playing on the attack. That's how Manchester United is supposed to play. We are supposed to dominate the whole time, the full 90 minutes. So when we have players like Pogba who have switched up to playing that attacking-minded role, he's doing an absolute amazing job in that attacking minded role. If you've guys seen that post-game interview with him saying that he wants to play and make Ole Gunnar happy, which is what players are supposed to do for their manager, but little comment, it's not what he did with Jose Mourinho. So that's kind of where I'm at. I feel like if he kept the same energy and he played 100% with Jose Mourinho, I feel like we would have had different results early on into the season, and we would have been, we wouldn't have shit the bed so many games, right? But the way he's playing now, he's playing absolutely amazing. We're playing this before we would have players like Valencia and Ashley Young and Luke Shaw running up on the sides, and we don't really have that anymore since we're playing Martial, young, fast, healthy players. We're playing Lingler on the side, so we don't really need that much help from our wing backs. Instead, we're keeping them back a little more. They're only pushing up to the midfield instead of the attack, so we don't get counterattacked anymore. I mean, I think we've suffered less goals in these last 6 games than we have in the whole season, which is, any other 6 games that we have in this whole season. So, I mean, those are just some changes that are just Ole Gunnar has brought to us. So, like I said, against that PSG team, I don't know how we're going to line up or how we're going to play, what formation we're going to use, but I'm feeling a little bit optimistic against these guys. And the second point, the last point I definitely want to talk about is going to be what positions and what roles we're giving to our players. I mean, Valencia hasn't been playing a lot of the games, so we've had players like Ashley Young, we have Luke Shaw come in, just switching it up, making sure everybody's playing a little bit healthy. One thing I definitely want to take in mind is this leadership role we're kind of giving Lindelof. I mean, Lindelof has been absolutely amazing. For the last 6 games, he's had 100% success rate when it comes to tackles. I mean, not to be biased, he has gone through some games without tackling, but I mean, for most of the part, he's 2 for 2, 3 for 3, sometimes he's 4 for 4 these last 6 games. So, I mean, stepping up as one of our center backs, since we don't really have that senior role. I mean, we've had Chris Smalling, Phil Jones, but these guys are awful players most of the time. So I mean, having Lindelof finally step up, or having a center back finally step up to that leadership role that we have in defense when Valencia is not there, is just made our backline so much better. I mean, yes, we still are conceding goals, and that's to be expected. We don't have the best backline in the world in the season nonetheless, but I mean, Lindelof, he's talking out from the back, making amazing passes. I mean, he's at an over 80% passing rate as a center back over these last 6 games under Ole Gunnar. So I mean, obviously there's been a 180 with him. I feel like Ole Gunnar has finally given him confidence. When we first bought Lindelof, we brought him into the team, he didn't play because the first couple games he played he played awful. He wasn't confident. He wasn't ready to play in this Premier League type of league. It's hard. It's exhausting. It's the toughest league in the world. That's what makes it the best league in the world. So if you're gonna put in a player that's not ready, basically fucking wasted your money. So the fact that Lindelof is finally being confident, he's finally yelling out from the back, like I said, he's, when Valencia's not there, this is the person besides David De Gea who's looking like a captain, then that's great for us. Okay, against some of the bigger clubs, like I said, we played Tottenham, beat them 1-0. It's a fucking amazing game. I mean, that's when David De Gea stepped up, and that's why he's the best keeper in the world. I'm still surprised people don't think that, but I'm very glad that, the role that we've given Lindelof, giving him confidence, giving him that leadership role it's paying off for us. Okay, and the other player that I want to talk about, I would say 2 players I want to talk about. The first one has to be Rashford. Okay, Rashford and especially Martial, 2 of my favorite players, 2 of my favorite youngsters. Martial probably being my favorite player, but I'm not going to talk about him in this episode. Just for Rashford, wanting that striker role, telling Jose Mourinho that he wants that striker role and then just not getting it, giving Lukaku too many fucking chances. And now finally we have a striker. We have, finally we have somebody we can trust. When Rashford played striker and then with Martial up against Man City this season, he played awful, just absolute no energy whatsoever. It was a fucking pylon up there. But now over these last 6 games, he's just been absolutely amazing. I mean, 5 goals in the last 6 games out of the 8 that he has this season. So he scored, more than half of his goals in the last 6 games as striker. The fucking goal he scored against Brighton was disgusting. Just absolutely disgusting. Okay, I am glad that we have a striker now. I'm glad we have a striker we can trust. I know it's fucked that we have, Lukaku coming off the bench as our striker, even though we spent so much money on this guy. And I'm just thankful Alexis Sanchez isn't touching the fucking pitch. I mean, he's coming in and he's pulling off some assists, but I mean, just so much money wasted on this too. When we had players like Martial and Rashford just ready to come up, especially we switched up Lingard instead of playing him, as the cam. We playing Juan Mata on the wings. We were finally playing him. Our front 3 is young, fast, strong. Like, these are the players that we can put our fucking trust in. I mean, Martial and Rashford look like a disgusting duo up there. So back to the main reason why we're talking about this, Ole Gunnar has put Rashford in that striker position, giving him confidence like he's given Lindelof, and it's paying off. I mean, 5 goals in the last 6 games for us, scoring more goals, and I think we scored 18 goals in the last 6 games, which is amazing. That's almost half of the goals that we have this season. So obviously we're doing something right with taking off Lukaku, taking off Alexis Sanchez, even Juan Mata, and starting our front 3, even switching them up to 2 to 1. Mid-game, sometimes we'll put them back to 3. I mean, these are just some of the changes that Ole Gunnar has made, some of the changes that actually benefit our team. Okay, one other position change I want to talk about is, like I said before, putting Pogba in that attacking position. Okay, I understand that he should have played 100% under Jose Mourinho, regardless what position he played in. I mean, a lot of people say this, but all these players have almost as much power as the managers now. So it's kind of shitty, but I'm just happy that Pogba is playing at his 100% finally. Okay, I understand that we had to get a new manager, we had to prep him like a little baby, but now that Ole Gunnar's here, he's finally giving back to the players, putting Pogba in that attacking position. I think 4 assists, 5 goals. Okay, he has more goals in the last 6 games than he had all of last season. Okay, so obviously this is his position. This this is the position that's going to make him best midfielder in the world. So I'm super happy about that. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about Martial, but I'm super happy with that as well. Rashford and Pogba definitely have to be the most improved players that we've had, and all they needed was a position switch. Okay, so these are just some of the positive things that Ole Gunnar has done that, you know, the people aren't really talking about, or people don't really see. They just see the game and everybody working together, which is also good. Okay, but like I said, I think those two are the most improved players on Manchester United. And that's just a wrap, guys. If you guys like the video, if you like the content, you know, coming out from a break, if you guys like the new classy setup that we got going on, make sure to drop a like, and please give me feedback. My Twitter will be linked to the channel, so please, if you have anything to say, make sure to hit me up. Any of my close friends, anybody guys who knows me personally, make sure to hit me up on Snapchat or anything else. Thanks, guys.